Hi, grade sevens. So I'm introducing you to your next art project. Our next art project will be based around an African artist called Cyrus Kabiru. He comes from Kenya, and we're going to look at how he did his art. I'm going to show you a quick slideshow, and this is something for you to start working on during exams and then to finish off next term. All right. Okay, so this is Cyrus Kabiru. He comes from Kenya. He's born in Nairobi in 1984. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya, where he currently lives and works. Kabiru is a self-taught sculptor, using both fine materials and photography in his practice. So he didn't come from a famous art school. He didn't have a lot of money. He was actually raised in a poorer area of Nairobi, a township, where there was a lot of trash around. And so he didn't have the money to go and buy expensive oil paints and canvases. He started making art with the trash that was around him. Used recycled materials. And these are some of his works which are actually have been exhibited in the Zeitz Museum in the waterfront, and they've been there almost since the beginning of opening of the gallery. Okay, he is most well known for his series of eyewear and masks that he fashioned out of rubbish. His process recycles this trash and repurposes it from just being waste to being beautiful, to being artworks. Obviously, each artwork would be more than just being beautiful, would have a message of its own. So he would make a series of masks which spoke around the issues of environment. Obviously, he's using recycled material, spoke directly to that. Also, they maybe might have spoken to political issues in certain countries or social issues. For example, the differences between the wealthy and the poor in his country and that sort of thing. Some examples of his work. As you can see, he uses everything from tapes he finds to wire to beads to shells. He's got shells in this bottom one. And a whole bunch of different things he combines. As soon as we deal with 3D objects, so for example a clay sculpture, we're not just dealing with the first 5 elements of art like we normally do: line, tone, texture, color, and shape. We're now dealing with space and form. So remember, form is a 3D shape. Shape is like a flat square. Form is now a cube. It's the 3D version. Space is how you use those forms. What the different sizes between the forms and the different distances and that sort of thing. So we'll also be looking at some of the principles of design, like balance, where one side balances out the other. Scale and proportion, which is actually this picture here. Bigger things, smaller things, how big or small something is. And if something's very big, then it stands out more. If it's very small, then it also stands out a lot more. Unity and variety, which is like my previous 2 pictures. The guy wearing all red, that's pretty, has a lot of unity. It's all the same. Whereas the person on the right has pink, white, blue, more variety. It's sort of more interesting. But obviously you can use both of them together. And then emphasis, obviously focal point, making something more interesting. The orange really stands out, draws your eyes to his eyes. There's some more examples. Okay. In the time that we live, this is for your project. In the time that we live, masks have taken on a very different meaning. Where before they meant hiding or parties, they were all about what is concealed, what is hidden, and as well as what is revealed, what is shown, what is seen. Now they all kind of mean the virus, and they all mean what comes with that. So they come with fear, comes with anxiety, all that sort of thing comes with it. We are going to be making masks of our own, and these masks will have a new meaning. They will have a hopeful meaning. These masks will be inspired by Cyrus Kabiru and his masks. Our masks can be just the simple coronavirus ones that cover our nose and mouth, or they can be more interesting and cover nose, mouth, and eyes, or just eyes and not cover the mouth at all, because you're saying we hope for an end of covering our mouth and nose. On a piece of paper, we'll do a mind map for what hope could look like for you. It is very individual, so everyone should have different ideas, and that's fine. Some of you might hope for what's going to happen to you after school and making a lot of money or whatever. Some of you might hope for a certain boy or girl to notice you, or some of you might just be hoping for good waves when you go surfing after school today. On the same piece of paper, we'll start coming up with some ideas and drawing up some ideas of what a hopeful mask might look like. Remember, think of how you can make it different. Try not to do the expected things, and then you'll be thinking around what materials you might use. What can you bring from home? You're gonna have to bring all of your stuff from home, guys. You can also look in the recycling thing in our school, but try and bring stuff, like bring boxes, whatever you might think of using. Okay. We'll then be creating our own mask. This mask will be our main artwork for term 4. So make it as beautiful as well as creative as possible. Each of you will have different ideas, so a process of making your mask will be different for each of you. I'm not going to, as I do sometimes, tell you at the beginning how to make your artwork. It's up to you. Bring different materials that you might use. So I've got a page here with different things that you might think of using. You might think of using wire. You can do very interesting sculptures with wire. With tin foil. I've made some amazing things with tin foil. You did it also well in grade 5. You made those dances and things. You can use cardboard. You can use plastic bottles. You can use newspaper rolled up, like this bottom one here. It's actually made almost primarily out of newspaper. You can use paper, which is folded. There's many different things you could use. And as this elephant shows you, they even have a baby doll in it. Okay, when you have completed your project, you should take a photo of the project itself as well as wearing the mask that you made. So some more examples.